Heihachi in Smash Bros. Ultimate, Shantae, and other Nintendo leaks. Let's do it! Blocked content. What's happening, my Blocked buddies? Welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. I've got some really great questions here today, and you guys keep sending them in. Thank you so much, and I'll discuss a lot of great content today. Send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and let's answer our very first question of the day. It says, Heihachi may not be my favorite character, but Tekken has been my favorite childhood. I really want him to join Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the next DLC for the next year after the final character will be out from the Fighter's Pass. And this message comes from Tehana Maharauriki. First of all, thank you so much for sending in your question, and yeah, that is interesting, right? A character not being your favorite character, but also being super nostalgic for that character. I have a similar relationship with a character like Crash Bandicoot, where I do feel like that character is not anywhere near my favorite character in gaming. You know, if you look at this animated background right now, you see all the great franchises of Smash Brothers. With that, it's Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. There are so many great characters that I would say are among my favorites, right? I think my most favorite video game character of all time has to be Mario, and more simply like Mario from Super Mario 64. That's where I really fell in love with gaming as a whole. But I really feel like that doesn't really mean it's your favorite childhood memory, right? And to me, it feels like that might be your favorite childhood memory. So like playing Tekken 2 or 3 or something like that would have been something that really stuck with you. So having a character in Super Smash Bros. That really calls to your childhood is a super important thing. Like, there's no franchises quite like Smash Bros. Maybe it's something like the Avengers films that do the same thing, where it's like harkening back to your childhood in a lot of different ways, because the characters do come from the comic books originally, but of course they're portrayed by different actors, and it's a whole different deal than the video games, where, you know, Sakurai does take really good care of the characters, actually makes them, you know, appear as they were in their, you know, most beloved incarnation. Look at Mega Man in Smash, look at Pac-Man in Smash Brothers. I mean, he really does take really great care of these properties. So if he looks at it the same lens that we do, then of course taking a character like Heihachi from Tekken, yeah, that'll have a very special place in Smash Bros. History, because not only do I think that Tekken is one of the great fighters, the franchise is really up there with some of the biggest fighter franchises ever, and of course now that has expanded quite a bit, but yeah, next to Street Fighter, I would definitely say that it has quite a shot. I also think that they did the crossover, right, the Street Fighter and Tekken crossover, and then there was supposedly like a Tekken Street Fighter crossover coming, and that never really happened, but yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of history there, and it definitely deserves to be in Smash. Also, just look at the connection with Ben and Namco. It's pretty interesting that something like that hasn't already happened. Heihachi is, of course, also in the taunt from Pac-Man, so if you want to talk about that kind of stuff, it's really, really interesting if you really dig down into it. And then you go on to say, I really want him to join Smash Bros. Ultimate as the next DLC for the next year after the final pass character will be out from the Fighter's Pass, right? So the idea here is that we are still expecting one more character from the first Fighter's Pass at this moment of recording. So we haven't got Terry yet. There's interesting information today about Terry, which we'll dive into in a video, of course. But yeah, I do feel like that final spot for that character won't be a character from Tekken. There's a big chance that Heihachi or a Tekken character like Jin or Kazuya might still end up in Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think that if it doesn't happen, I'll be pretty surprised. All these great franchises enter the fray, and now having Terry in there is of course also super interesting. Makes you think, oh, is this really going to happen this time? Are we going to have a Tekken character in Super Smash Bros.? I do think that it's going to happen. It's not going to be the next character, so I kind of share your sentiment here as to thinking, yeah, it will probably be the next character in line after the Fighter's Pass. I really hope that there's a Tekken character in there. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of care put into those characters. There's so much moveset potential, and I even think the sound effects, the punch sound effects, and the effects could be super interesting, right? It's not really bloody or anything like that, and the block color is like the blue, like little firework thing. I think that you can do great things with Tekken in Super Smash Bros. Just look at an example in Street Fighter. They translated that different fighting style to Street Fighter very well, and there's no doubt in my mind that they could be doing the same for Tekken 2. So yeah, I would like to see Ogre. I think Ogre is or True Ogre, I think is what it's called. Anyway, the character that's green, I think True Ogre was like the dragony, like flying character. So Ogre, I think is a character that would be really cool as well, because it's just a crazy pick from that universe, and he has like space lasers that he can shoot, which is great. I also really like Yoshimitsu, and Yoshimitsu also famously appeared in the Soul Calibur franchise, where Yoshimitsu is actually a fan favorite as well. So that character is already in like this crossover territory. So yeah, maybe pull Yoshimitsu into Smash and have like a lightsaber character. How cool would that be? You know, it'll like scratch that itch for a lot of people to have that sort of a fighter in Smash. And of course, Yoshimitsu's fighting style is crazy, right? He can do these spins and flying and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for your question. It's very, very fun to think about Tekken. So thank you, Te Hana Maharuriki. I hope that I pronounced that anywhere close to right. So our next question is, what do you do in your spare time? Also, thank you for always making me happy. You are awesome. From Frisk Dreamer. So possibly Frisk Dreamer is a person that really wants the character Frisk from Undertale in Smash Brothers. I do share that sentiment. I don't think it's going to happen in this game, but yeah, I definitely think that we're onto something with having Sans in there. That's great. So thank you so much for your question, and thank you for the very sweet compliment, and also like making you happy. Like that's what I hope for, right? Doing these videos. Of course, not everybody can be happy with the video content that people make, right? There's a channel out there for everyone, so subscribe to the things that you love. And I hope for some of you out there that's blocked content. It's very fun to be talking to you guys. Like episodes like this are very special to me, where I actually, you know, the mailbox for blockedcontentmail@gmail.com has been overflowing. So it's not this thing where I get a few messages every now and then and I get to pick, you know, it's like this sea of messages of love and ideas and crazy stuff. So it's really sweet, and it's always very difficult to choose just a brief few of them for these videos. So you guys are making me happy. So that's why I'm doing this. It's just, you know, it's a mutual thing. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching the videos. As to your question, what do you do in your spare time? That is an interesting one, because yeah, a lot of you guys probably don't know a lot about me personally, because of course these videos kind of, you know, they're about Smash Brothers, they're about Nintendo games, they're about video games as a whole, sometimes a little bit of the other corners of the world, but yeah, it's pretty simple, right? What the content is that we do, so I don't really get the chance to talk about things that I do, you know, aside from that. So I'll talk a little bit about that. In my spare time, I actually don't play a lot of video games. Now, the reason for that is I love playing video games, and I have a Nintendo Switch that I love dearly. I used to have like all the Nintendo consoles. I still have them like somewhere in an attic or something. I don't have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One S or something like that. I'm like strictly Nintendo gamer. If I want to play any of those games, I'll just hop into my friend's house and play something like that. So no video games for me. I do play Smash Brothers, but when I do it, I play it together with you guys. So when I go live with Smash Brothers on Blocked Content's channel, that is my video game time. That's pretty crazy, and I'll explain why, right? So the reason that I don't have a lot of time left for those kinds of things is because I've really chosen to have hobbies that take up a lot of time, effort, creativity, and are basically big projects. Ever since I was young, I love doing huge projects and not necessarily having like a sport that I really do or something like that. It's always something huge, and there's something in me that can't really stop myself from being involved in those things, but it's also a really great thing for your resume or, you know, developing different skill sets. So throughout the years, I've gotten a lot of things that I was passionate about that I ended up doing and loving. And of course, one of them you guys know, you know, I edit the videos, I make the videos in this channel. There's some animation in there as well that I do. Well, I studied for those things. I still love doing animation. I do some animation work for, you know, companies, for friends, for people that, you know, want me to make like a lyric video for music or, you know, direct to film, stuff like that. So at that point, I also make films. So I actually write screenplays and direct feature films with actors on set, stuff like that. That is a really huge part of my life, and I would love to share more about that maybe in the future. Maybe at some point I'll even do a Nintendo project or like a Nintendo fan project. I would love to dive into that live action world as well. And actually, there's a really cool thing that some of you guys know because I've talked about it on this channel and shared the trailer. I am actually developing a pilot right now. I'm working on a film that has the voice of Super Mario in it, the actor Charles Martinet. I've worked with him in the studio in person. He's such a great guy. There's also a lot of other great actors involved in the project, like Chris Sabat, who does the voice for Vegeta in Dragon Ball. I've worked with so many great people that it's just really crazy to me that this was possible. And yeah, I'll continue doing a whole lot more film projects as well. Another one of my huge loves that I do in my spare time, or well, it's like most of the time, is music. Some of you guys know that I've done songs on this channel and maybe instrumental stuff, and yeah, all the music that you mostly hear in block content, if you check the description, I compose those things, I make those things. So even the little song that you hear here, the block content main theme, I did that as well. But yeah, I'm a singer. I play guitar, a little bit of drums, a little bit of bass, a little bit of, piano keys. I play in a band. I've had the same band for about 10 years. And I'd love to share some music with you guys. When I do something that really crosses over with this channel, I think I'll integrate it a little bit more if you guys like it. So we'll do maybe animated videos about like Nintendo stuff or video game stuff. I think that there is a time and a place for that. It's just not right now. So the sound of what I like to make is a little bit close to like pop rock, like a little bit of Blink-182 or Green Day, or even, something like the Chainsmokers that are super popular nowadays. I just love music that really is uplifting, big, huge, things like Angels and Airwaves, Owl City. That's really my forte. That's really my style that I like to do. And actually, as of the moment of recording, 2 days ago, I was in the studio recording. No, I think that it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, the whole day I was in the studio recording our brand new album that we've written over the past couple of months. So that's something that I do too. I love doing it, and I love to share more about that in the future on the channel. Every Christmas I also do a very special Christmas song project that is like outside of the band that I do, and I even shared our Christmas song on this channel last year, so you can look that up. It's called Pen and Paper, so if you just search my name, Callum, with pen and paper, you'll get it, and it's on block content, and you guys really seem to love that song. So that's kind of what I do. So it's film, music, animation, directing, filming, all that kind of stuff. That's what I love, and that's what I do in my spare time. I also like to ride my bicycle, not to burst out singing like Freddie Mercury or anything, but yeah, I like my bike rides. I of course work out a little bit, try to do it every day or at least every 2 days, and I love hanging out with friends and just having a lot of fun. So that's basically my life. So thank you so much, Frisk Dreamer, for that great question. Next question comes. It says, "Hello again. It's been a while. I haven't really had the time to talk recently, but here I am. I have a question I've been dying to tell you. What advice would you give to a person like me about finding their main in Smash? Because I have my ups and downs with characters. I would also like to know if you would be willing to play some Smash battles with me someday just to try and get better. Thanks, Callum. I knew you couldn't let me down if you are reading this, even if you don't put it in the video. From Super Soul Gamer." And of course, I did put it in the video. Here it is. So yeah, thank you so much for your super sweet question. Very nice to see you again. And of course, your main in Super Smash Bros. How do you decide your main? Well, up front, I do play Smash Bros. I play it a lot. I love the game, and I'd like to think that I'm not that bad at it. I'm not like a tournament player at all. I did actually here in the Netherlands, here in Holland, I actually won a Smash Bros. Tournament, a huge one, like on a big stage a couple of years back when it was still Smash Bros. For Wii U, and even before that game came out. So I won that tournament using Mario as my main. So how did I came to get that main, and why? How do you kind of choose your main in Smash Bros? It's easy, I think. Play all the characters, play every single one of them, even the clones, even characters that you think like the difference between a Toon Link or a Young Link or just regular Link. I like to think that if you play every single character, you will, at least know the characters that you don't like. That's the very first thing that you really need to find out. A playstyle like that really doesn't fit with me. For me, it's characters that are either a little bit gimmicky to my taste, so characters like Pac-Man that have a lot of weird moves and are non-traditional fighters, or characters like Greninja that are really up there in, either jumping height or, moves that are really difficult to pull off, like the Shadow, teleportation moves. Characters like Meta Knight that to me are a little bit unnatural to control. I like to be a little bit more grounded. So first, check out characters that don't fit with you, so you kind of cross them off a list. And then find characters that really, work well with the way your brain works. Are you someone that likes to get in there, punch, and, be on the offense? Don't get characters that have very, ranged attacks, characters that really like to use a lot of projectiles. Get a character that really loves to get in there. Are you a character? Are you a player that likes to, approach people and want to have it done quickly? Then get characters like Fox, get characters like Falco that are just really quick and, get in there in the fight. Also, try and see if there's a franchise that you really like, because the characters are not, Smash Brothers isn't just about being good at the game, it's about enjoying the game as well. So you're gonna have to choose a character that really fits with you. I don't like the notion of Smash Brothers just being this faceless thing where it's just about finding the right frame data and character to play as. There's a place for that too, but if you're asking my advice, I'd say also find a character that just fits with your personality and, the character that you like, the franchise that you like. So for me, all that crossed with Mario. Mario is, of course, my favorite video game character, as I told in this video, for very good reasons. I'm also wearing pants right now that have Mario's face on it printed, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I do think that if you look at the things that you love and also things that kind of come with your playstyle, Mario is a character for me that is a lot about the offense, but also about versatility. Mario can keep people at bay or kind of pressure people with the fireball attack. He can reverse certain attacks with a cape, which is great. He is sort of like a reflector thing going on there, but he also is a character that's very grounded. So even though Mario is known for jumping, his jumps are not that crazy good, but they're just really well, done. They are well timed if you want to get in there and really get the opponent on their nerves. Mario is kind of the character to do that. You just jump in, do your forward aerials, do your standard jab attack after you land, stuff like that. So really chase down the enemy is what I like. I don't like to be that defensive. If it's a team battle and I'm Mario, then I'll be a little bit more careful because that character is a little bit on the weak side in terms of launchability. But yeah, I do love that character just because it has a special connection with me. So I decided to just get good with that character early on. It was my main in Smash 64, then it was my main in Smash Melee, then it was my main in Brawl, then it was my main in Smash Brothers for Wii U, and then it is my main again in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So yeah, I'm a religious Mario main. So thank you so much, Soul Gamer. Next question comes. It says, I will write here some characters who I want in Smash, and after please, can you say to me who of these characters has more changes to come to Smash, and if Gino joins, he can be the Challenger Pack 5 of the fighter, my list. And I think you mean changes, you mean chances. So he says, Gino, Sora, Crash, Shantae, Bandana Waddle Dee, Monster Hunter, Leon or Jill Valentine, Rayman, Heavy, Shovel Knight, Ryu Hayabusa, Knight 2B. Thank you from Danny Sonic Souza. No, thank you so much. Really great picks here. So I'll just quickly go through what the chances are. And I'll just start at the bottom, which I think is very interesting. 2B, love that character. Kira voices the heck out of that character. Love it. I think the chances are high-ish. I do think that, the character has been in crossovers before. So it could happen. I'll just rate it from 1 out of 10, and 10 being extremely likely and it's probably going to happen, to 1, I'll never think it's going to happen. I think that 2B is a 7. Knight from Hollow Knight, don't think it's going to happen, but would love it to happen. I would say a 6. Ryu Hayabusa, I think, is extremely likely, and if it's not the 5th fighter, Ryu will definitely be in Smash Bros. Ultimate. It won't even just be the next game, it will be this game. I think Ryu Hayabusa is a 9 for me. Shovel Knight, he says, I'm sad because this won't happen. Yeah, I think the chances are at about a 4 or a 3, because of course the character is an assist fighter. Now, Sakurai could throw us for a loop and announce that certain characters will become playable and the assist trophy doesn't work on those stages or whatever. Yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen. Heavy from Team Fortress 2, although I love the franchise, I don't think that it has quite the power and maybe even the tone to stay with Smash Brothers. I would say a 5. Rayman, I would love for that character to be in Smash. Of course, also famously has a spirit in Smash and a trophy in Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS. I would say Rayman has an 8, or maybe even an 8.5. Leon or Jill Valentine. I actually think like a Resident Evil character would be great for Smash Brothers, another Capcom representation, so I would say an 8. I would definitely love for those characters to be in there. Monster Hunter, I would say a 7, because yeah, I think that if they wanted to do it, they already have Rathalos in there, they probably would have done it already, but also the character has been in other crossover games, and I do think that there is already a connection in the game, so why not? So a 7. Bandana Waddle Dee, I don't think it's going to happen. I think even outside of the Fighters Pass third-party characters that we've already gotten, I might even think that every single character will be a third-party character. That might just be the thing. I'll be sad if it is, because there's a lot of first-party characters that I would love to see. There's something in my stomach that just says it's all going to be third-party. It's all going to be partnerships with different franchises to just get more people to buy Smash Brothers that don't know about it already. And if you do first-party characters, you're just not going to reach big new audiences, right? If you're a Nintendo fan, you already have Smash Ultimate. Like there's no audience out there that, you know, doesn't want Smash. Maybe if you really don't want Smash, you don't get it, but yeah, then still, why do you have a Nintendo Switch? So yeah, I think that that's like a 4 or something. Shantae, would love to see in Smash Brothers, is a great character, great design as well, and really great colors too, like very simple to see those colors on the screen and think, oh yeah, that's where I am on the stage. Shantae, I think her chances are about at a 6. I do think that it might not be big enough at this point to be in Smash Brothers. The spirit's already there. I think that there's a lot of love for the character. I just don't think it'll cross over into fighter territory in Ultimate. So Crash, number 3, I think that there is a 9%, I'll put it at a 9, so 90% chance for Crash to be in Smash Ultimate. I would love for Crash to be the 5th DLC fighter, and there's a big chance that it will be. But still, yeah, Crash Bandicoot is of course the Sony mascot, used to be, is now on Switch. I think that there's a huge possibility, so at a 9. Sora from Kingdom Hearts, this will be difficult, right? Because there's a lot of right stuff, but we've talked about that in a previous video, and it seems like Disney, and especially Square Enix about Sora, are ready to kind of play ball if they're asked, right? So Sora, I would say, is at a 7. I do think that it'll be difficult to get it to work, but I do think that people are looking at it, and that's why I'm giving it a 7. Geno from Super Mario RPG, I think, is a lock for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I would say Ryo Hayabusa got a 9. I would almost say Geno would get a 10, right? Like, there's no reason why Sakurai has not yet revealed the Mii costume other than the character is in Smash, right? The character is in Smash Ultimate. So it's coming as a character after the Fighters Pass has already been announced. I think that Geno is just a 10. I can feel it. So thank you so much, Denny Sonic Souza, for this beautiful and sweet email. Next question is, Dear Callum, can you talk about Nintendo news other than Super Smash Bros. Or pure leaks? How about reviews? Greetings from the beautiful tiny island of Malta in Europe. You've got a block buddy even here, too. Search where Malta is. Regards, Jordan. Jordan, thank you so much. I, of course, know where Malta is. That is a beautiful place. And, of course, I'm also located in Europe, so maybe we'll come by. Maybe we'll just, have some fun over here, and then maybe I'll come by in Malta, and you can, show me the island. That'll be super cool. So, about Smash Brothers, about pure leaks, and doing reviews, I actually do a lot of different things on this channel. But some of those things people really respond to, like the Snake Codex series early on. People really loved me doing those things. And then the Banjo-Kazooie review show, and we also did a show called Wario's Prank Calls, Cranky Kong's Advice. So a lot of animation content that, I make new episodes if people like them. And if people start to kind of dwindle on them, I'll be like, yeah, I'll make another one in a little while. And then, of course, I also do shows like this, QuestionBlocked. And can you talk about Nintendo news? That is interesting. I actually did a video yesterday about some leaks within Pokemon, some information about that. And yeah, a lot of people also like that as well. And I also do reviews from time to time. I didn't do one for Luigi's Mansion, just because right now, really busy schedule with the Smash stuff, Smash leaks coming out. So that is kind of my reasoning behind that. But yeah, if a lot of people really like and really watch the videos that are not about leaks, then I'll have an incentive to do it. But yeah, sometimes there's little times, like I have been very blessed to have a lot of subscribers this early on in the channel's life. That's really great, and I'm super thankful for everybody listening right now and watching. That's the biggest thing for me. However, there are some videos that I'll bring out that can really get like 100 views or like 200 or 300, which is crazy if there's like over 35,000 people subscribed to the channel. So there's something going wrong there in terms of me connecting with a larger audience. And if you don't get exactly what you guys want, you guys just won't watch, right? So there's stuff like that I really have to figure out, a different tone of voice or a different way of bringing the content, different way of developing how I present it. So there's a lot of things to think about. So I like to do content that I know people will watch because that way you guys are subscribed. And I don't want to be that guy that brings out content that you won't watch, that you don't like, because why am I existing? Why am I in this world then, right? Why am I in this, YouTube space? So thank you so much. And yeah, having a blocked buddy over there in Malta is so great. So thank you so much, Jordan. And one of our last questions is, I just wanted to show you these as I'm a huge game collector and ask, what system game was your biggest influence to get into playing games, and after all these years, is it still your favorite? From Spectrum Blast Gaming. Now, it kind of seems from this email that you have some sort of image that I'm having to see. Like, I just wanted to show you these. I don't have an image, so maybe still send that to me if you want. A huge game collector, that's great. I actually collected Game & Watch games. So back when I was very young, I used to go to a lot of, outdoor markets, and right over here, they also did a lot of video game stuff there. People were just throwing them out, people were just selling them because that's kind of old junk. Of course, now we know it's not old junk, and the Game & Watch things are worth quite a lot of money, but to me, it's just a really great era of gaming that is kind of slowly getting, forgotten. There's just like Mr. Game & Watches and Smash, right? But that's just about it. People don't really talk about it anymore. So, used to collect a lot of Game & Watch things. And in terms of games, I collected Nintendo GameCube games because I loved the little discs. So I would really buy, any sort of game for Nintendo GameCube, even if it was a game that I'll either not really play a lot, like there was like a Tasmanian Devil kind of game. Totally loved that. And I also collected Nintendo figures. Now, the figures that I really collected, if you're talking about it like an actual huge collection, it was Pokemon figures. So the very first generation of Pokemon, Gen 1, I had every single character, and it was from a very specific build of little figures, and I just had this glass case that had floors and floors and floors of figures, and it looked beautiful, and I ordered them by like Pokemon type or either color, and I would change it every month. There must be a picture of it somewhere, like in my house or somewhere, and even the figures might still be somewhere, but I just don't know where. So yeah, it's a little bit of games, a little bit of Game & Watch, and of course also Pokemon figures. Love those. So thank you so much, Spectrum Blast Gaming. And our last question here is, hello Callum, I'm a big fan of the channel and Smash Brothers too. I've had this question for a while and I'm happy to finally be asking it. What will you guys at Blocked Content do after the Smash leaks died down near the end of the DLC, be it Wave 1 or 2? Will you cover leaks for other new games? P.S. My prediction for The Last Fighter is either an FPS rep, Doom Guy or Master Chief, or a visual novel rep, and if I were to think of a good one, it would be Danganronpa series, Makoto and Manukauma, or something along those lines, but Saber would be a fun visual novel fighter too. I hope the channel goes great, and I'm still going for that Piranha Plant plushie. Have a good one. And it's from Scarfy. So thank you so much. And of course, that giveaway, that Piranha Plant giveaway, a lot of people think that it's a really long time out. I might have mismanaged the timeline on that. But yeah, we were getting thousands and thousands of subscribes every day. So I was thinking, we'll reach that pretty quickly. I'll just do a giveaway, and I already bought the stuff. And yeah, I might have to change that down the line. Piranha Plant plushie is now at 50k subscribers, so that's right now we are at 37,000, and there's a giveaway at 40,000 for a t-shirt, which is also great, and we're gonna reach pretty soon. So thank you. That's really great. Yeah, what will we do after Smash leaks die down after the end of the DLC? Right now, I'm thinking that there's a lot of content out there that people would love to tune into Blocked Content for, be it animated content that, of course, we'll get into if I get more time free, which I would love to do because animation is one of my loves. But also, yeah, we didn't start this channel as a Smash Brothers League channel, right? That's not at all what the purpose was of this channel. It was just different kinds of media. I even did voiceover stuff, did animations, and then I did videos, analyses of trailers for Paper Mario Color Splash. that's pretty much where it started, and then that transitioned into Super Mario Odyssey, and then it became Breath of the Wild, and then it transitioned to Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that's been the longest era for this channel. So yeah, possibly a new Mario game if that comes out. We'll talk about that and other Nintendo stuff too, because yeah, the audience right now that we have is really tuned into Mario characters, Smash characters. So have to, work on content that you guys would love to subscribe to, and not something that I necessarily love that you guys don't, right? Have to find that perfect middle ground. So as to your predictions, I do think that an FPS character would be great for Smash Brothers. So sign me up for either a Doom guy or a Master Chief. So thank you guys so much for sending in your great questions through blockedcontentmail@gmail.com. It's been a pleasure to answer your questions again today. I hope to do them in a little bit of detail so it won't just be a one-sentence answer and you really get to, have a deep dive into what the topic is. So if you want to have your question answered on this show, please send a sweet email to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com. So either about what it is to start on YouTube or make content for different kinds of ways, music or film or something like that, or even questions about Smash Brothers, about leaks, about Nintendo games. So thank you guys so much, and of course, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Press the button right now, and I'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more Question Blocked and blocked content. See ya.